Is it okay if the unit sits a little bit above the ball? What about the Bluetooth Blues and why black is where it's at when it comes to setup and playing with the Square Golf Launch Monitor? Like with any piece of technology, it certainly has its quirks. What do you say we try and iron out a few of those today? Welcome to the Pole-in-One Golf Club. I'm Jack. In this video, I'm going to cover just a few of the tips and tricks that I've learned in my half a year with the Square Golf Launch Monitor. If you're thinking about getting one or just got one, take a look and tell me what you think. All right, let's start with the setup, where Square Golf says to put this flat on the ground next to your hitting area. However, if you're like me and you purchased a protective case, that adds a little bit of height. Then if you put it in a stand that came with that case, you're looking at being maybe 1/4 of an inch or more above the ball. So does that make a difference? Well, let's check it out. All right, that bubble isn't perfect, but you can see it's pretty level with the launch monitor and the ball. What do you say we give it a shot? All right, I got my T-Pex 5 balls that I always use. The unit is level with the hitting area. Let's see if it can find the ball. And here's the thing. Oh, found it right away. And it read it just right. Talk about quirky. Preparing to make this video, I couldn't get a single read off of it being flat on the ground. Now it works great. You just plop the ball and go. Look at that. Every single time. Nice. But what happens when you put your Square Golf Launch Monitor in its protective case in the stand? Now there's no doubt it is definitely higher than that ball. All right, we're using the same ball. This time, maybe 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit more above it. And let's see if it reads it. Boom, right off the gate, no problem at all. And here we go. That's about the same reading, and everything is good. So again, Square Golf says it is best to have your launch monitor level with your hitting area and the ball. However, in my experience, I have found that you can go up 1/4 of an inch and maybe even a little more than that and still have great results without any problems. All right, we've got the launch monitor at the height that we feel comfortable with. Now it's time to talk about this thing. It is the Square Golf Launch Monitor's alignment stick, and it's nearly 7 inches of complete and utter frustration. Hello over there. So we have the alignment stick and we want to get this thing staring right at the screen. So we'll go to settings, we will hit target alignment, and let's see what we have here. We put it right in front, and I've never been able to get this thing to do anything. I can't get it to work. There is nothing I can get to work. No matter how close I bring it, no matter what I do, it does not show up. I don't know about you, but I'm not a fan of the alignment stick. It is not intuitive at all, and it's a real frustrating experience. Luckily, my unit sits pretty close to a wall that is square with my hitting strip, so all I need is one of these. Yes, a square. I put it up against the wall, I flatten it up where it's straight, and I have always had great success with this. So I turned in my alignment stick for one of these. The wrong lighting can give you all sorts of problems in your golf simulator, especially with the Square Golf Launch Monitor, which is camera-based. So a spotlight that goes down to your hitting area so that the ball is lit up well for the unit to be able to see its markings. While the hitting area needs to be well lit, most everything else around the launch monitor should be black. That starts with your tees. It's just easier for the camera-based monitor to be able to pick up the ball off a black tee than a white tee. By now you've heard the horror stories of how natural sunlight can negatively impact the results of your Square Golf Launch Monitor. So not only should you only use it indoors, but it should also be facing a black background. All right, I've heard a lot about the Bluetooth Blues, and my unit sits nearly 6 feet from my laptop, and I have always gotten full bars. Now, to be fair, I have a much newer computer. However, I have also received full bars with my iPhone, my very old iPad, and I used to have a ROG Ally X, one of those portable PCs, and that also had no problem picking up my unit about 6 feet away. All right, 6 feet is one thing, but what happens if your computer is 15 feet away from your launch monitor? All right, so that's the unit way down there. I've got the light on it, 15 feet away, and let's see if she finds it okay. All right, here we go. Here we go, moment of truth, connecting device. I don't have full bars. I'm missing one bar, but I can normally live with that. I've played in that situation many a times and never had any trouble. So all this talk about getting a Bluetooth extender, hey, if it's 15, 20 bucks and it gives you peace of mind, I say go for it. But unless you're over 15 or 20 feet away from your actual golf launch monitor, I've never had a problem. Let me know what you think. I've enjoyed my Square Golf launch monitor now for about 6 months, and those are some of the quirks, tips, and tricks that I've come up with along the way. But what about you? Is there a way that you can help me improve the Square Golf launch monitor and others watching this video? Leave it in the comments below. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by the Hole in One Golf Club, and I will see you next time on the Tee Box.